Alright, hello everybody, Skyrain, barely back here once again with a Diablo Immortal video. Forgive my absence, but been ongoing PC issues that are not letting up anytime soon, and unfortunately they have just gotten continually worse. So if I disappear for a long time again, you know why. Anyway, what we're going to talk about is, and there's unfortunately not a lot I could do about that right now. But anyway, what we're going to talk about right now is the 2-star... the Mourneskull. Some other ones have discussed this already. There's also some comparisons to which one's better, yada yada yada. But I'm basically here to show you what you need to do if you want to get a maximized rank 10 of this crafted during the event that's ongoing right now. If you haven't been already getting your telluric fragments saved up, then you definitely need to be doing so if you want to pursue this gem that is anyway. I'm kind of still on the fence about it. It has its pluses and minuses, but as far as, of course, my main wizard here, it's not really going to do me that much for me in regards, because it is more of a melee-centric kind of ordeal. It does have its fun with the walk-in wow build that I have, by the way. So that one I did see an uptick in damage when I tested it with this meager rank 1 copy, so there is something to be said about it. So it does have its uses in certain places, but we're just basically going to cover what all you need to have and what you want to be looking to if you want to invest in this and try to get it all done in this very, very short time frame that they gave us to craft this thing. Now, there is talk, and I did indeed post some notes from the Chinese patch notes, that they did say that at some point in the future they will be adding other ways to acquire this after the event, the crossover event has concluded. But we're not 100% clear on what those means are going to be. A lot of people have speculated perhaps maybe they'll put that into the battle pass, which that one really sucks, because then that's just yet another time-gated thing. And honestly, I feel the game is far too old to be pulling that kind of nonsense again at this point, because there's enough time-gated nonsense in the game as it is already for it being a mobile, of course. So anyway, let's get down to the brass tacks and all of this. Alright, so what you see before you now is the Diablo Immortal tools. I'll put the link to this website in the description down below somewhere, or try to remind myself to do so. If I do forget, I'll try to remind myself as soon as I can to put it also in the pinned comments somewhere. It'll be down below somewhere. Credit where credit is due. Now, this one hasn't been fully updated. It has been recently updated, as you can see there in the top, around 10/21 this year. So it's getting there, but it doesn't have the new gem in here yet. So we're just using this as an example. It doesn't matter. Any 2-star gem that you have, this is exactly the format that you need, the amount of copies, the amount of gem power, etc., etc., okay? This is a very nice little thing here. Puts it into a visual format here, which I figure you guys would appreciate in a video, of course. So here we are. As you can see, all the way at the bottom, this is where it really matters the most. You need 41 copies. 41 copies of a 2-star gem in order to max it out to rank 10. And then you also need a total of 685, I call it gem dust, or, gem food, gem power, whatever you want to deem it. You need 685 of that total. You need 41, but the most important part here is the 41 copies. So let's go over exactly how much is that's going to actually cost in crafting it up, or obviously get it off the market, which there might not be that many. I'm going to go ahead and check on my server and just show for instance to see how much they're going for, if we have any on there at all anyway, in general, or not, and kind of go from there so you can plan accordingly. Again, this is just a example. It doesn't. In this case, it's paint class, but you get the idea. It's a 2-star legendary gem. The same format applies to all of them, and exactly how many copies you need to get them to rank 10. All right, so let's go ahead and show the other stuff. First, however, we will start at the Elder Rift. Now, keep in mind also, it seems that we're getting a hidden mirrored jewel event once at the first of every month. They seem to be rolling that out the same as they do in the Chinese servers. However, on the Chinese servers, they do it all day, which is why they get their biggest injection of money on the first of the month all the time, because they run that event all day, and that's how that works. People buying crests all day long to run that event over and over and over. On global, we only get to run that one and done, which is probably a better thing because you're getting far too much into areas you don't want to go otherwise. So keep that in mind. This event, the crossover event itself, is still ongoing and will be for another 22 days as of this recording. So that will make it through until the first of the month, obviously, for the Mirror Jewel event. So you can kind of plan accordingly and take your chances. Of course, is always an RNG gamble, as it has been from the start. But you can see if you might get a couple extra copies out of this from just running it in there. You never know. You never know. So right now, yeah, you will have a chance of doubling that. Who knows? But that's one way of going about it, to trying to get more copies. But also, you want to run your rifts with any form of crest that you choose. Of course, at the start of the week, I usually run them so I can get the bonus weekly party dust, the fading embers. I try to max it out in the first couple of days, and then usually I don't use any more crests after that. It's just a personal preference, and then I save them up until the following week. And I run mostly rare crests until I can get enough saved up. Now, we did get 10 of these for free given to us of the orange, so there is also that to consider. I will wait until the Mirror Jewel event comes back around before I use these again. And that's pretty much what is going to be a standard for me going forward, seeing as how they have been running the Mirror Jewel event now pretty much once a month at the first of the month. It seems to be pretty much the standard now. So anyway, that's that. Now, in running with crests, as you can see here, you will get telluric fragments as a result of running crests. And however many you get is depending upon how many crests you put in. They equivalent to 4 fragments per crest. It doesn't matter what color. Actually, that's a 5, and then I get some extra chance for a legendary gem there and some extra embers. Okay, so maybe it does matter what color. I never really paid too much attention to this before. Okay, now it's only a 6 for telluric fragments, and now I got a chance for this stuff over here. So it looks like the rare crests are your biggest bang for your buck when it comes to this. Indeed they are. So the rare crests are where it's honestly at if you're trying to build up your telluric fragments for crafting. And the crafting list is here. 2 stars are 80 telluric fragments. Okay, so in this case, of the new gem, the new, that so many people are going to want to get while it's around. Did they even show it in this list? I'm curious. There it is, Mourneskull. Right here, 80. Yeah. So if you want to do the math, how many fragments you're going to need, you need 3,280 fragments if you're going to craft them all from scratch. Okay? Yeah, and as you can see, I only have 828 currently because I've been just saving them up, and then I wait until I get to a certain point, and then I start crafting up some stuff again, depending on what I really am after. It all depends. But nonetheless, this is kind of the way of planning these things out, taking the different approaches to this, okay? But again, you're going to need 3,280 telluric fragments if you want to craft all 41 copies that you need with telluric fragments alone. And again, it looks like the rare crests are the ones that give you the most telluric fragments whenever you use them. So anytime that I need these crests, I always get them from the hilt trader at the start of every week. I buy up every single rare crest that I can with my hilts. And that's how I get and stay up upon my rare crests. And again, like I said, once I get to the fading ember limit here for the weekly party goal of the 120, I stop using crests and then I save them for the following week and then rinse repeat. Now there is another way you can get telluric fragments as well, which is this guy right here. Obviously it says fading embers and telluric fragments. This is entirely up to you, so do not take this any more than just take it at face value for what it is. I'm just showing another possible avenue that you can use. Your dust, fading embers, you can actually turn these in to this guy for telluric fragments at 5 a pop. That's entirely up to you. However, I much rather prefer to use my fading embers for crafting a purple legendary crest. That's what I've always been doing it, and that's why I will continue to doing so. Now, if you're in the hard chase, however, for this month anyway, you could probably forego that. If you're really, really in the chase, like I said, for the new gem, you can convert and get some more telluric fragments this way and use up your fading ember dust. That's entirely up to you. That is another way of going about it. All right. So now let's check the market. All right, and here we are now at the market with depending on how much platinum you're willing to spend or put down, and depending on how many copies are available on your server. As you can see here, there's a meager 3 of these, and that's it. And they're going, well, actually, these are going to be available, so they're not available currently. Some are trying to sell them for double the cost of what I honestly feel like they should be. These are very, very expensive because they're new, and that's pretty much the only reason that they're this high of a cost for a 2-star legendary gem. This is what they are on my server currently. This is what I have available to look at this very moment. So that's it. Not even just 1 page, 3 gems, and that's it. And they're an obscene cost for a 2-star. So honestly, yes, you are better crafting your own, as is always the case. Anytime that I want gem power, I usually craft up 2-star gems. The 1-star gems cost the same amount in fragments overall, so that's why I just go ahead and craft the 2-star gems up with fragments. And then I use those for my main income for the gem power that I need whenever I want to try to upgrade a gem. So let's go back and look at the other ones really quickly. Just another one, for example. Okay, Cold Confident was fairly recent. Let's look at this one. Way less, and there's, I don't want to say way more, but there's at least more than that. And the highest cost in this list doesn't even break, 4,600. That's the highest. So just to give an example of how outrageous that this one is right now, because it hasn't been completely fully tested, but it is still, it falls into the limited time category by design by the devs this time around for whatever reason. Honestly, I feel like this is not really cool on their part, no matter what way you look at it, but here we are. Hopefully this will be the first and last of its iteration going forward, and we do not see some other nonsense like this, because honestly, it's rather dumb. It means that if you want this gem, as it stands right now, if you really want this gem, you have to be in the game right now at a certain level, of course, to, you know, craft these all up and acquire them in a hurry. And yeah, so like I said, this means it would be through platinum, and that's going to get very pricey, very dicey, considering there's not very many to choose from on the market. So crafting will be pretty much your best and only bet when it comes to this as a guarantee. So there you go. Hopefully that breaks it down nice and pretty for you, as you can go over here to the gem service.
How can I help you today?
You can also trade telluric fragments with her as well, if you so choose, with your fading embers. So you can make the exchange. Remember, so she has this available as well, as does most of the gem crafters in any camp, in any zone. But, you know, this is just preferred choice because, you know, it's your one-stop shop for everything. So talk to Cyril, do the things. Again, I prefer still using my fading embers for crafting up eternal legendary crests. That's just how I'm going to continue to do it. I'm still on the fence about the other gem. Before the event ends, I will probably craft up a couple. Well, maybe more than a couple, but I'm not going to go all out on it. I'm just going to get it to a certain happy stopping point and say, you know what? And then test it out with a few things. But again, it feels very melee-centric, so take that for what you will. The secondary effect on it, where there's like the life drain, so to speak, on it, you have to be nearby opponents, and it benefits, of course, on more than one opponent to get them full effect out of it. Yeah, so I'm usually far away, if at all possible, as much as possible, especially when it comes to battlegrounds. So that's not really going to do me that much benefit. I'll have other gems at my disposal that I prefer over that. That's just how it is. However, of course, with the up and close, like I said, the other build that I use in dungeons, which is the walk-in build. Wow! Go ahead and activate it really quickly here. This one, I did notice it does get a lot more benefit from that gem just by using the rank 1 on a testing dummy. Testing dummies have always been hit or miss, of course, in the true data when testing these things out, so be that as it may. That's as far as I've gotten. Like I said, I've had a lot of PC issues and they're still ongoing, and it's like one day at a time. Literally, as I always say, one day at a time, and that's what it is for me on multiple levels right now, so bear with me, you guys. I do appreciate you guys hanging in there for as long as you have. If you made it to this point in the video, of course, do the YouTube things to help support the channel and continue things, hopefully keep the lights on and everything else too. Do the YouTube things, share, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff for the YouTube algorithm, of course. Comments do definitely help. The likes and all that do to an extent, but mostly, you know, the interaction is what really gets things moving. I do appreciate it as always. Hope you guys are... It has been... I will put this little side note at the end here too. Of course, over the past weekend, I was going to make... I still might, actually. I'll hold off on saying any more about it. Had some various entertainment, so to speak, events over the past weekend, and, well, for this month in general, it's been kind of a... Well, it's been a big circus, but anyway, until next time, everybody, stay safe out there in the real world, and as always, take care of yourselves as best you can, one day at a time. It's all we can do. Until next time, see you.